So, quick update on my labor and delivery experience. As you guys know, I had posted that my water bag had been ruptured with my son for 24 hours, and I didn't even know. I had went to my checkup the day before, so on the 3rd, and I was telling my doctor that, I felt like I was leaking, but I wasn't really sure. And, she checked, and she was like, you could potentially have a high leak. She was like, but if you're not soaking through a liner, she was like, then I don't really think it's a big deal. You're probably okay. I was already scheduled to be induced. She was like, he'll possibly come, so it wasn't a big deal. But she did say something that now in hindsight, I'm like, it was already there. When she went to check my cervix, she said, your internal body temperature is a lot warmer. She was like, are you feeling sick? And I was like, no, I had a headache, a slight headache, but nothing crazy. So she was like, okay, just watch your liner. If that feels, then I want you to go to the hospital. So I go back to work on Monday. My last day was the 4th. I worked all day. While I was at work, I was having contractions off and on. So I was just monitoring it. But, I made it through the day. By the time my work day was over, I went and picked up my daughter from school. But I knew on that ride home, I was like, let me make sure I pack her bag, or her overnight bag, just in case, because I just had the feeling that it was coming. So by that night, those contractions were on my head. And so by, I want to say 9:30, we were on the road to drop my daughter off to my mom, and we were headed to the hospital. We get to the hospital, I'm still having contractions. They checked me in immediately, and I knew, at first I was afraid to go to the hospital because I don't want to go to the hospital. They send me back home because nothing's happening. But by the time I checked into the hospital, I was already 5 centimeters dilated, and when they were checking, she was like, there's fluid here. So she was like, cough, and they were like, oh, okay, we think maybe, they were like, did your water break? And I was like, well, no. And so they were like, okay. And so again, they confirmed that my water bag had been ruptured. And so, we were anticipating that, maybe my water was going to break fully and that we were going to keep going into labor.